Hey guys, welcome to Red's Projects. This episode's going to be about the ute. I have been working on it, but progress has been slow and boring, so I haven't been filming much of it. So I'll show you where I'm up to now, and then we'll work on it a little bit later on in the day. Alright, we'll start with the outside. Those shark fin wheels that are on it, I sold them for $300. James from Vice Customs is getting me a set of Sunraysia wheels, just 15-inch steel Sunraysia wheels, just plain, simple, boring. That will look alright on this thing. Canopy's gone. I sold that for $200, and our cousin still had the 20 cover for it, so that's in good condition. I'm going to keep that. I'm happy with that. Right at the moment, I'm halfway through doing the head gasket. So the head's off, doing a bunch of stuff under here, but I'll get back to that later. What I'm going to show you now is the fuel system and all the dramas I had with that. Okay, getting the fuel system to work ended up being a really big job. Both tanks in this were buggered. They were just full of rust and gunk and all sorts of crap. I did try to get the left tank to work with a new fuel pump, and I was having dramas getting fuel circulating, and I just decided just to rip everything out. Being the dual tank setup that this Outback model has, it's pretty complicated in there. It's got all sorts of lines and two fillers and this valve that lets fuel go back into the right tank, the return, and all that came out. As you can see, it's really dirty and dusty in there, so after I got the tanks out, I did give it a good clean, and surprisingly the paint was really good in there and it didn't match anything else, so that was great. I replaced those two tanks with a little 10-litre cell with a cheap $30 fuel pump off eBay. After stuffing around for a fair bit, I got fuel circulating, and I had the injectors cleaned, and it ran on petrol. Okay, so now that I was confident it ran on petrol and it ran nice, it was time to get rid of all the gas stuff. So the mixer, converter out of the engine bay, they went. A whole bunch of wiring and relays and stuff I got rid of as well. All the wiring underneath and the feed line, got rid of that, and it seemed like they put about 1,000 little clamps with self tappers the whole length. So I got rid of all that hose and wiring, and then we just had to get the tank out. That was a bit trickier than it should have been. It was just the tank was nearly full and it was a bit heavy and a bit awkward, but after playing around for a decent amount of time, I got that out and removed some unwanted weight out of the car. Okay, let's talk about this fuel system a little bit. I got this little 10-litre fuel cell off eBay. Cost about $150. I got this EFI fuel pump, little baby Bosch style fuel pump that's normally on like a VN or VL external pump setup. That fuel pump is not going to support the power that I'm going to make, so that's just temporary for now. But this whole little setup works well. What I want to do, because that tank is only 10 litres, I want to put a bigger fuel cell in the back here later on, like a 60-70 litre tank. Have that tank fill up the little tank for street driving. Then when I go to race it, I'll just undo the 4 bolts, slide the big fuel tank out, and just race on the little tank so that I'm not carrying all that extra weight for no reason. And then that makes life easy if I want to run race fuel in it, because I only have 10 litres. I can drain this fuel into the big tank, and I can put C16, avgas, methanol, whatever fuel I want to run, which I want to run a few different fuels and have a bit of a play and a bit of experiment, so that will make that easier. So I'm not really sure if I can make this fuel system pass roadworthy. Theoretically, if I return the charcoal canister to the top of the tank and run the breather into the filler so it still uses the factory fuel cap, theoretically it should pass, but I have to talk with the roadworthy tester and see what his thoughts are. I might have to put a factory tank in it just to get it roadworthy and then go back to this setup. Okay, now that you're up to date, let's have a look at what I'm going to do today. So this thing had a blown head gasket. I've already pulled the head off it. I didn't film it because it was kind of boring, but you can see number 2, top of the piston's nice and clean. Number 6, top of the piston's nice and clean. So water was getting into there and into those 2 cylinders and has steam cleaned the top of the piston. So it definitely had a head gasket issue. It's pretty common on these motors. I've done a bunch of them with my previous jobs, and yeah, you just slap a new one in and away you go. I've got a bunch of water lines under the manifold I have to fix. I got gaskets to scrape, surfaces to clean. So I'll do a bunch of stuff off camera, but we'll come back and I'll be hopefully putting the head on, putting this thing back together, and hopefully it runs like a dream. All right, it's been a long day. I have not got as much done as I wanted to. All the water pipes that are under that manifold I was cleaning up and fixing up, and it just was problem after problem. So I mainly went in to replace this pipe here. This was all buggered and had water squirting out of it and stuff, so I've got to replace that. I haven't got any, so I've got to buy some tomorrow morning. On the other end of that is the heater tap, and the heater tap was all falling apart. So to do something about that, that's going to be my new heater tap. So it's going to be warm all year round. What else? These stupid clips. I really hate these things. A couple of these were kicking my ass for like an hour. One's up on the firewall for the heater. I was just really struggling to get them off. So when I get hose, I'm going to get a bunch of new hose clamps and replace them all. But other than that, the heater hoses are all right. I can reuse those. So just need to get some stuff in the morning. Put all those water hoses and stuff right and back together, and then I can put the head on, because once the head goes on, it makes it hard to get to it. So I will carry on with this tomorrow. Alright, I'm getting pretty close to finishing up. I just tidying up a few things underneath, a few hoses and stuff. While it's up in here, I'm going to drain the oil, and I know it's going to be a pretty colour. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Oh, that wasn't too tight. Okay, you ready for it? The washer? Yeah, got the washer. Oh, yum, look at that. It's not quite coffee coloured, but definitely pretty nice. So I'll let that drain. I've got a few more things to do on top. By the time this is drained, I can put some fresh oil in it and try and start it up, I think. I think I'm ready to start it. I haven't got any leftover parts. I think I've checked over everything 2 or 3 times, and I think I've got everything where it should be. I think I've got everything plugged in. got water, got oil, nothing's dripping on the ground. So, well, I guess I'll just turn the key and see what happens. Primed it, turn the key, fire straight up. Alright, that went really well. That was genuinely the first turn of the key. I just primed it a couple times, fired straight to life. Nothing leaking, nothing unplugged. It ran beautiful. I probably ran it for like 20 minutes. I think I stopped the video at 10 minutes and just kept it running, just trying to build some heat in it, because like the whole time I've had it, I've only started up for short periods of time just to get it in and out the shed, or just to move it, or just to check things. So I just kept it running, kept it circulating, get heat in it, and it all went really well. And just have a look. Just turn the key. Easy as that. Runs like a dream. Alright, that's probably going to be it for this episode. Nothing else exciting going to happen here tonight. I've got a bunch of stuff to put away. I'll double check the water and oil, maybe start a few more times, and then put it outside, play with it next weekend. What I need to do next, I need a battery. Sick of jump starting it anytime I want to start it or move it or do anything, so I'll buy a battery next week. Got some ball joints I need to do for the front end. The lower ball joints are absolutely buggered, so I'm doing uppers and lowers and making that all fresh again. And I'm hopefully going to be putting on my new wheels and tyres soon from James at Vice Customs. Hopefully we can sort that out this week. Get some new shoes for it. And once those three things are done, I should be able to drive this thing. And I'm really excited to take it for a drive, just to see what it feels like, how it steers, you know, all that sort of stuff. So hopefully that'll be next weekend or the weekend after or something, and that'll be next episode. We'll see how we go. And just a reminder, I am building this car on a budget, so everything I'm putting on the car, I'm writing down money-wise, just to keep track of where I'm going with that. All right, that's it. You're all up to date. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.